ॐ पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखं वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। वाल्मीकेर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम्। यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्। गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसम् रामायणमहामालारत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम्। अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धो सलिलं सलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम्। आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि परमानन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्। श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि। वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम्। अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परम्। व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्। नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै। नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः। चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरं प्रोक्तं महापातकनाशनं। शृण्वन् रामायणं भक्त्या यः पादं पदमेव वा स याति ब्रह्मणस्थानं ब्रह्मणा पूज्यते सदा। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। सीतायाः पतये नमः। ॐ श्रीमात्रे नमः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। हरिः ॐ. We are doing Ramayana Navaha Mahayajnam. It is 9 days Sampurna Ramayanam. Yesterday we did see the Rama Jananam and all that. It started with Valmiki Maharshi asking the question to Narada Maharshi. Right now, Sampratam Loke, right now, is there a Shodasha Kala Paripurnudu who has 16 Kalas filled with all good qualities? Is there a person right now? Then Narada Maharshi gives elaborate answer, says yes, that is nothing but Ikshvakukula Vamshiyudu, Dasharatha Putrudu, Sri Ramachandrudu. Then gives the Bala Ramayanam, or it is called Samkshipta Ramayanam or Samkshepa Ramayanam in 100 shlokas. whole Ramayanam in capsule form. And then Valmiki Maharshi did the meditation, thinking about Ramakatha. In that meditation, Brahmaji appeared to Valmiki Maharshi. Then Brahmaji instructed Valmiki Maharshi, saying that you need to write Ramayana in full scale. You heard it from Narada Maharshi in capsule form, but you need to write in full scale. That's why everything will appear in front of you. Every inside and outside, you will get to know of everybody. So then Valmiki Maharshi did the pranams and pradakshana to Brahmaji and started writing Ramayanam. Srimad Ramayanam has 24,000 shlokas, 6 kandas, Balakandam, Ayodhya Kandam, Aranya Kandam, Kishkindha Kandam, Sundara Kanda, and then Yuddha Kanda. Later, he wrote Uttara Kanda also, that is the 7th one, after the Pattabhishekam. But right now, our goal is to do up to Pattabhishekam. That is what Ramayana Navaha Yajnam. And then 24,000 shlokas, 6 kandas, and 500 sargas. Sargas mean chapters. This is how Valmiki has written Valmiki Ramayanam, whole Ramayanam. This is Adi Kavyam. And then it is very well written and in detailed way. Very, very in detail. Not like Tulasi Ramayanam. Tulasi Ramayanam, we see it in very, very short way, short form. But Valmiki Ramayanam is very elaborate. All the shlokas are written in Chandobaddham. It has a meter. That way people can sing or read or chant or listen to lectures like this. And then Valmiki Maharshi taught this whole Ramayanam to Lava Kushulu. And they were singing everywhere in all the cities with nice tune, with laya, tala baddhanga, with nice, beautiful, melodious voice. Everybody was enchanted by that, their singing, and Ramayana also. And this is the introduction we have seen. And then what is the story is Ramajananam. Dasharatha Maharaju is the ruling kingdom for Ayodhya Nagaram and Kosala Desham. That is in banks of Sarayu Nadi. He has everything except the children. Then Dasharatha Maharaju performed Putra Kameshti Yagam. For that Yagam, all the Devatas appeared, and then all the Devatas, Rishiganas, Muniganas, they all requested, did the Prarthana to Vishnu Bhagavan, saying that Ravanasura is really harming everybody, and time has come, he has to go. Ravana Vadha has to take place. Oh Vishnu Bhagavan, you need to come like a Nara, as a human being, and kill him. That is the boon he has. And Vishnu Bhagavan and then obeyed their orders, and then he decided that Dasharatha is going to be his father. Right then, Prajapatya Purusha appeared from that Putra Kameshti Yagam and gave the payasam to Dasharatha Maharaju. And Vishnu, then he had 4 sons, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughnu. They are nothing but Vishnu Amsha. And now all the Ravana Vadha platform is ready. And then Vishnu Bhagavan told all the Devatas, Rishiganas, Muniganas to come as Vanaras. That is why there are so many Vanaras to help Ramachandra Bhagavan in this Ravana Vadha. And main ones are Vali, Devendra Amsha, Sugriva, and Surya Amsha, Tarudu, Bruhaspati Amsha, Gandhamadanudu, Kubera Amsha, Neeludu, Agni Amsha, Maindudu, Dvividudu, Ashwini Devatalu, Sushenudu, Varunamsha. And then Sharabhudu, Parjanyamsha. Hanuma, our beloved Hanuma, is Vayu Amsha. So that's why everybody, so many of them, they are varieties of Vanaras, Ruksha, Vanara, Gopuchulu, they are all very Balaparakramamalu, embodiment of strength, and then they are all very skillful in their own field. And then they are all quote Kamarupulu, they can become like any form they want because they are all extraordinary devatas, all of them. So this is what all the Ravanavataha platform is ready. And then slowly, Rama, Sri Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna are growing very well. And then they learned archery. They were following the Dasharatha's orders and growing up very well. And then that moment, Vishwamitra Maharshi comes for Yaga Rakshana. And asks Dasharatha Maharaja, please send Rama Bhagavan with me. He is the only one can destroy Tataka and many Rakshasas. And as per Vasishta's request, Dasharatha Maharaju agrees to send Rama along with Lakshmana. They both go to with Vishwamitra Maharshi for Yagarshana. In their way, they see so many ashramas, and Vishwamitra Maharshi gave them so many vidyas, astras, shastras. All that we are going to see. We are in Balakandam, 22nd Sarga onwards, we are starting. Balakanda has 77 Sargas, and that's what is happening. I just brought you right here up to how much we have done. And then Vishwamitra Maharshi is, along with Vishwamitra Maharshi, Rama Lakshmana are following, and they decorated themselves very beautifully, wearing the Dhanur Banas, and then they are walking, they Ajanu Bahulu and Mahavirulu, and everybody was enchanted seeing them, very happy and pleased. And then on the way, and then they went to the banks of the river. So many rivers they will see. All that we are going to see. And if Sita Mata permits, we will see Sita Rama Kalyanam also today. But mother has to give the permission. Otherwise, definitely tomorrow morning. So that is why you have to come every day and then see what are we, you might be missing something. So with this introduction, we will enter into 22nd Balakandam Sarga Balakandam. And then now Vishwamitra Maharshi is going to give them so many vidyas. Astra Shastras. First, Bala Atibala. Gruhanavatsa Salilam Mabhut Kalascha Paryayaha Mantragramam Gruhanatvam Balam Atibalam Tadham. I am going to give you great Astra Shastra, Bala Atibala and Vidyas. Now do Achamanam. Achamanam is for purification. And all that, then I will give you. These Vidyas, with that you are not going to feel the Shrama or Jwara, feverish, or you will not get sick, you will not feel tired, and Rakshasas are not going to touch you. That is very useful. And then, O Rama, to do this action or perform this action, killing the Rakshasas and protecting the Yagam, you are the only one who is capable. And then nobody is equivalent or higher than you in Saundaryam and Samarthyam. So that is how, O Rama, you have lot of things to do. That's why I'm giving you this Bala Atibala. Na sramo na jvaro vate na rupasya viparyayaha na cha suptam pramattam va dharma ishyanti nairutaha na bahyaha sadrusho virye पृथिव्यामस्ति कश्चन त्रिषु लोकेषु वैरामा न भवत्सेदृशस्तव न सौभाग्येन दाक्षिण्ये न ज्ञाने बुद्धिनिश्चये नोत्तरे प्रतिवक्तव्ये समो लोके तवानघा. Nobody is equal to you in saundaryam and samarthyam. So that is why I am giving you all this, and then we will proceed for Yaga Rakshana and Tataka Vadha. Let us see. On the way they are stopping at Ganga Tiram and ashramas at the night time, and meanwhile they are all traveling. Who? Vishwamitra Maharshi, Rama, Lakshmana, three of them. And now they reached to Sarayu and Ganga Nadi Sangamam. Sarayu Nadi and Ganga Nadi Sangamam. That is where they reached. And then they see one ashramam. But there they slept overnight. And then dawn time, early morning, the Vishwamitra wakes them up. Very, very famous shloka. Many Telugu people know this shloka. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narashardula Kartavyam Daivamahnikam. Kartavyam Daivamahnikam. Vishwamitra says, "Oh Kausalya, Nandana, please, you have to get up, do the morning Sandhya Vandanam, and you have lot of things to do. Daiva Mahnikam, Kartavyam Daiva Mahnikam, Sandhyopasana, and then all that you have to do, and then please get up." That's what Vishwamitra says. And then they are all traveling on that. Slowly, Vishwamitra says about Tataka Katha, why she became the Rakshasi, and then why she became very bad. All that story he will tell. Kasya chitvada kalasya yakshi vaikama rupini balam naga sahasrantya dharayanti tadahyabhut ताटकानाम भद्रं ते भार्या सुन्दस्य धीमतः मारीचो राक्षसपुत्रो यस्याः शक्रपराक्रमः वृत्तबाहुर्महावीर्यो विपुलास्य तनुर्महान् राक्षसो भैरवाकारो नित्यं त्रासयते प्रजाः. See, this Tataka is Suketa's son. Suketudu, there is one person is there. He did lot of tapas to Brahmaji. Brahmaji appeared in front of him and blessed him with a daughter. That is the Tataka, Yakshini. And then Brahmaji gave her 1,000 elephants' strength. Means she is very powerful and strong lady. And then slowly she married to Sundudu, another person. Originally she is the Yakshini, who Tataka. And she was not bad, Sundudu. And then she has sons Maricha and Subahu. And Maricha also very bad, and he has a lot of strength. Both of them, three of them together, they destroy all the yajnas, whatever we perform, and do all the ill things, and then they kill all the rishis and muniganas. They disturb them. So they may not be able to kill, but they disturb everybody. So that is the reason we are not able to perform these yajnas. Oh Sri Rama, this is what happened. And what happened one time, that Sundudu means Tataka's husband did the adharma. Then Agastya Maharshi did the curse. He died, and then Tataka, Maricha and Subahu tried to attack Agastya Maharshi. Then Agastya Maharshi did the curse to them. You are going to become Rakshasis. And then that is why they are all staying in the Siddhashramam and really harming everybody. That is why now the time has come. You need to destroy this Tataka and Maricha and Subahu. So that is why Tataka story Vishwamitra was telling. Like this, so many stories and so many ashramas they visit and stories we see. All of them. So let us see now how you need to kill the Tataka now. Yenam Raghava Durvruttam Yakshim Paramadarunam Go Brahmana Hitardhaya Jahi Dushta Parakramam Nahenam Shapa Samsprushtam Kaschidutsahate Puman Nihantum Trishulokeshu Tvamrute Raghunandana Nahite Sri Vadhakrute Gruna Karya Narottama Chaturvarnya Hitardhaya Kartavyam Rajasununa Nrusham Samsam Praja Rakshana Karanat Patakam Va Sadosham Va Kartavyam Rakshata Sata Yesha Dharma Sanatanaha. And Vishwamitra Maharshi is saying, this is all Sanatana Dharmam. Do not hesitate that I am killing the woman because she is a very behaving very badly and destroying everything. You are the only one who is capable of killing Tataka. And Chaturvarnyam Hitardhaya, for protection of all the people, you need to do this. As a Raja, king, Rajya Palana Dharmam, that is what Vishwamitra is saying. And then even it is a sin or sinless, cruel or cruel and not cruel, defect or defectless, all three. Even though all of them, you need to do your Raja Dharmam all the time. That is what Sanatana Dharma means. It's not that Sanatana Dharma means we need to sit down and let it happen, whatever it is. No. Sanatana Dharma means we need to protect, we need to come forward whenever the time comes, whenever adharma happens. Yesha Dharma Sanatanaha, that is what our scriptures say. We have to destroy all the enemies. We have to uproot with mule kutare, not even a trace of shatrus should not remain. So that is why there is no harm in killing Tataka. That is why Vishwamitra is guiding Ramachandra Bhagavan. And slowly Sri Rama destroys Tataka. Before that, and what Ramachandra Bhagavan says, Munir Vachana Maklibam Srutva Naravaratmajaha Raghava Pranjalir Bhutva Pratyuvacha Drudavrataha Pitur Vachana Nirdeshat Pitur Vachana Gauravat Vachanam Kaushikasyeti Kartavyam Muvashankaya Kartavyam Avishankaya. Ramachandra Bhagavan did the namaskaram to Vishwamitra Maharshi and saying that I am going to follow you, whatever you say, Vishwamitra Maharshi, because that is what my father also instructed me. Piturhu Vachana Nirdeshat. You have to listen to Vishwamitra Maharshi, whatever it is. And Pituhu Vachana Gauravat. Out of respect for my father, Dasharatha Maharaja, I will obey you. Whatever you say, I will follow you. And then did the namaskaram and then he destroyed the Tataka. And then before killing Tataka, Vishwamitra Maharshi gave so many astras and shastras to Rama Lakshmana. Some of them are like physical Astra, Shastra. Shastra means banas. And some are like mantra puritam. You cannot see them. The power comes out, but you cannot see them. Now also we are doing, right? All of them came from Ramayana. So many fight jet airplanes, this, that we hear. They cannot see, but they destroy. Astra Shastra, Mantra Puritam. Like that. Don't think it did not happen. Yes, it did happen. And all of them, how to use them, how to withdraw. Both Vishwamitra teaches to Rama and Lakshmana. All of them. So many. Their Astra Shastras are Devatas. Abharanas are also Devatas. That is why we will see them. In 31 and 31st, all the sargas, so many 36 and 37 gives all the astras. 27 and 28 sargas, how all the sargas and withdraw. We will see some names. Dharma Chakra, Vishnu Chakra, Kala Chakra, and Indrastramu, Vajrastramu, Brahma Shirostramu, Brahmastramu, Painakastramu, Narayanastramu, Hayashirasastramu, Kraunchastramu, Madana, Mohana, Sambardha, Masata, Tejaha, Prabha, Shishira, Sudamanastramu. Like that, so many astras and shastras. Dharma, Varuna, Kala, Pashamu. Pashamu means tying up. They get tied up. Dharmastramu, they get tied up. Varuna, with Varuna Bhagavan's Astram, Pasham, they are all tied up. Varuna Pasham, very famous. Kala Pasham, tied up by the time. Means they will not be able to move. They will just stay right there at that time. See how powerful they are? Everything has meaning. That's why I'm just bringing up some of them. And then Adharma people will get tied up with Dharma Pasham. Modaki Shikhari Gadalu. Gada means maize. Sushkamu Ardramu, rend thunderbolts. They will become like a dried up. Whole place gets dried up. That's what, like this, so many Astra and Shastra. This Astra Shastras, what happens is Brahmastramu. This we see it in Bhagavatam also. Dronacharya's son Ashwathama knew how to apply, but he does not know how to withdraw. That Brahmastram, he did it on Upapandavas. We saw it in Bhagavatam. And Arjuna has to come to withdraw that Brahmastram. And then, same way we see it in all this. Some people know how to do it, but how to get out, they won't know. We have to know both. How to enter and get out. Abhimanyu did know how to enter in that Padma Vyuham, but he did not know how to get out. So that's why he got killed by all the great warriors. So that is why even problems, if we want taking up anything, we need to know, and how to get out also we need to know. For example, doing the investments, we enter with out of courage, fearlessly. We need to get out also. We need to know how to get out, when to get out also, to make money on investments, right? Same way here also, that tip Bhagavan is telling, we have to know all of them. And then slowly, so many Siddhastramams are done. That Siddhastramam is Kashyapa Siddhastramam. Kashyapa Maharshi did the tapas, and Vishnu Bhagavan also did the tapas before Vamanavataram. They are all Siddhastramam. That Siddhastramam is taken by this Tataka. And now the Tataka got destroyed, and then now that became very, very safe place to live. So that is the Yaga Rakshana. One job is done, Tataka Samharam. And then they were protecting the Yaga Rakshana day and night, who Rama and Lakshmana. And after the 5th or 6th day, Maricha and Subahu enters to the Yagam. Yajnashala. Because now Tataka is done. Now this Yajnam is continuing. Now Maricha Subahu. That's what we will see now. What happens? Manavam paramodaram astram paramabhaswaram chikshepa paramakrudho marichorasi raghavaha satena paramastrena manavena samahataha sampurnam yojana shatam kshipta sagara samplave. What happened is this Maricha and Subahu, they are pouring all the ill materials, bad materials, pouring the blood and all that wrong things into the Havan. Then they have to protect. Then they made like a chandini, like an umbrella with arrows, that they will not get into this yagam. And then Rama and Lakshmana decided the time has come to kill this Maricha and Subahu. What happened is now all the Astra Shastras, Subahu dies, but not Maricha. That is why that Astram, that's why now Lakshmana, Rama Bhagavan is telling to Lakshmana, Pashya Lakshmana Sitesham Manavam Dharma Samhitam Mohayitva Nayatyenam Nacha Pranairvyayajyuta Vyayujyata. The one I did on Maricha, that is called Mohanastram. This will take him far away and he becomes unconscious. He becomes unconscious, but he's not going to die. Who? Maricha. So that is what is going to happen, because he has some more work to do. He should not die right now, because Bhagavan himself, Vishnu Bhagavan, appeared as Rama. Bhagavan knows when to do, what to do, when not to do, how to do, all that. He has a plan. And this Maricha again comes in Aranyakanda as a golden deer, and then tells Ravana that do not touch Ramachandra Bhagavan. I know how powerful he is. There is no way you are going to win this war. So that is why he instructs, because he experienced how the arrows are. He knew what happens. All the Kula is going to get Nashanam. All your Vamsham get destroyed, O Ravana. And Ravana was not going to listen anyway, because Vamshakshayam has to happen. And then this is what happened to Maricha. Now, in this shloka, 30 sarga, Satena Paramastrena, that is Sa. The letter Sa is the Gayatri Mantram, second letter of Gayatri Mantram. First letter we have seen in Balakandam itself, first sarga, first letter, Ta, starts with Takaram. Now, second letter, Gayatri Mantram, second letter, Sakaram. This is what commentators, Bhashyakaras are saying. I am not saying. Let us see, whenever they write or whenever they guide, I will share with you. I am sharing the information, that's all. Sa is the second letter of Gayatri Mantram. Because remember, it is every 1,000 shlokas, one Gayatri Mantram comes. Gayatri letter comes. Gayatri Mantra Bijaksharam comes, one letter. Every 1,000 shlokas. That is why 24,000 shlokas, 24 aksharas of Gayatri. That is why people say Gayatri Ramayanam. We have seen in the introduction itself. I am just reminding you. And now we see what happened to Maricha. And now let us see what happened to this Subahu. Samgruhyastram tato ramo divya magneyam adbhutam Subahurasi chikshepa savidha prapatadbhuvi. Rama did the Agneyastram. Agneyastram, with that Subahu Maranam took place. he prapatat bhuvihi. He just died. He fell on the ground. Subahu died. But Maricha did not die. He is going to appear as golden deer later on. We will see in Aranyakandam. And slowly, everything, Yaga Samrakshana, the purpose is served. Tataka, Maricha, Subahu, everything is taken care of. Everybody was very, very happy. All the Rishis and all the Munis, including Vishwamitra, they all did puja to Rama Bhagavan, like how they do for the Devendra. Sahatva Rakshasan Sarvan Yajnajnan Raghunandanaha Rushibhi Pujitastatra Yadhendro Vijaye Pura Krutardhosmi Mahabaho Krutam Guruvachastvaya Siddhashramamitam Satyam Krutam Rama Mahayashaha. Oh Rama, you did a great thing, and then now the Siddhashramam also became alive. Everything is going to flourish now. All the negative forces are gone. This is going to become positive. And then everything is going to become normal. That Siddhashramam. And then what they did is, they did the Namaskaram to Siddhashramam and all the Vanadevatas and started their journey. Now they are on the way to Midhila Nagaram. Now, on the way to Midhila Nagaram, they see so many rivers and so many ashramams, and Vishwamitra Maharshi shares so many stories according to that ashramam. So that is what we are going to see from now onwards, from 31 Sarga onwards. Now let us see. That Vishwamitra Maharshi is saying, you are going to see great Dhanasu in Midhila Nagaram. Janaka Maharaja is going to perform great yajna. That is what we are going to go. And meanwhile, they stopped at the one ashramam. Adhatam rajanin tatra krutardhau rama lakshmanau ushaturmuditau virau prahrushtenantaratmanam. And then they entered into one ashramam, and then that is at Shonabhadra Tiram, with peacefully, because all the negative forces are gone, with happiness they all rested. And then they were saying, now Vishwamitra Maharshi says a little bit story of him, and then says that Brahmaji's son, lot of stories will come, like exactly like in Bhagavatam. Roughly, we all know the Ramayana Katha, but these intricacies and the inner stories and the purpose, all that we are going elaborately. Brahmaji's son is the Kushudu. Kushudu marries to Vidarbha Desha Putrika, because that is what they are going to go. And then that Kusha has 4 sons. Kushanabhudu, he has first Kushanabhudu. 4 sons, one of them Kushambhudu, Kushanabhudu, Adhurta Rajasudu, and Vasuvu. Vasuvu is ruling this whole kingdom, Shonabhadra Tiram. That is why Vishwamitra is telling this story. And then that Kushuni sons, all of them, Kushanabhudu story I am going to tell you, because this is a very great tapasvi story, and some instructions are there for us too, seekers like us. Kushanabhudu married to Ghrutachi. Ghrutachi is one Apsarasa, and he has 100 daughters. They are all very beautiful, very well, Saundarya Rasi, Suguna Rashi, all of them very, very humble, most beautiful daughters, 100 of them. And then they were all roaming in the forest, in their vanam, because this all ruled by the kings. all their parents and then the uncles. One day, Vayu Bhagavan became the very deluded, got deluded seeing this, all these beautiful ladies. Then he said, I want to really enjoy with you. They said, no, we have a father. You have to ask our father for marriage. Then only we obey your instructions. See how they are really saying. Pita hi prabhurasmakam paramam daivatam hi saha yasya no dasyati pita sano bharta bhavishyati. You have to ask our father. Then if he agrees, we will marry you. That is what they say. See, now it is very, very powerful instruction nowadays. All these girls and boys listening to parents, obeying the parents, how important it is. So that is why you need to ask my parents. Then Vayu did not like it. He cursed them. You are going to become hunchbacks ladies. Then they became like a goonie. Goonie means hunchback persons. And then they came to their father, Kushanabhudu, and told whatever happened, everything. Then Kushanabha was very, very happy with their daughters, saying that Pitru Matyaha Sabhadram te Swachandena Vayam Stitaha Pitaram no Vrunishvatvam Yedi no Dasyate Tavam. They said, my father is there, you ask him all that. That's why we are all seeing all that. And then father is saying, Kshamtam Kshamavattam Putyuhu Kartavyam Sumahatrutam Aikamatyam Upagamya Kulam Chavekshitam Mama. See, you all forgave that Vayu and you were very patient. You did not do any ill and you really did whatever has to be done. You came to me. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm very happy to you. It is going to be very well. Everything will come out very well. Don't worry. Alankaro hi narinam kshamatu purushasya va dushkaram tacha yakshantam tridasheshu viseshataha yadrushiva kshama putyaha putryaha sarvasama viseshataha. See, Vorpu means patience and forgiveness is the greatest alankaram for everybody. All the instructions for us, don't think Ramayana happened a long time ago. They are all instructions, filled with instructions. How to interact with people, what qualities we all need to acquire, how to behave, all that. What is the real beauty for people? Vorpu Kshama. That is why people say, right? God gives and forgets. God gives and forgives. That's why God means, Devata means that gives and forgives. We get and we forget about God, human beings. So that is why he's saying not only that, how that Kshamadhanam Kshamayajnaha Kshama Satyam hi putrikaha Kshama Yashaha Kshama Dharmaha Kshamaya Vishtitam Jagat. That Kshama, Vorpu and forgiveness is the Dhanam, greatest Dhanam. That is the Yajnam, that is the truth, that is the Yashasu, Kirti, that is the Dharmam. And that Vorpu, that is what whole Jagat is like a substratum. Nilichi Unnadi. Whole is, Jagat is dependent on that. Kshama. You did the greatest thing. And then everything is going to become Shubham and auspicious for you. So this is what the father Kushanabhudu advised their daughters, 100 of them. That is why that is Kshama Gunam, Satyam. Both are them Bhagavan's Devata or Devi Gunas. Whole Jagat is dependent on those. All the instructions. And then slowly, he said, I have to perform these 100 girls' Vivaham, marriage ceremony has to take place. Then he had a plan. At the same time, there is a great Maharshi called Chuli. He is doing the tapassu. That time, Urmila's daughter, Urmila is the Apsarasa. Her daughter is Somada. Somada comes and then did the paricharyas to this Rishi Chuli out of Krutagnyata, out of humility. She is not there to disturb him or not to ask him any favors. He was doing the services to him. And then seeing all that, the Chuli Maharshi came out of his tapas and asked her, I would like to give you a boon. Ask me whatever you want. Then the Somada says, I do not want anything. You are not married. I am not married also. But seeing you, I would like to get a son. That son has to be very pure and do lot of tapas. That is what I want to have. Then Chuli Maharshi says, okay, he granted. The Chuli Manasa Putrudu is Brahmadattudu. That is why his name is Brahmadattudu. Very pious and very beautiful, humble and very handsome. And then that this father decided that, Kushanadhudu decided that I will get married these all 100 daughters to this Brahmadattudu. And then marriage, he performs the marriage, and then all the girls got, destruction takes place of the curse of this Vayu. Their hunchback is gone. They become very beautiful, like as usual, like before. And then seeing that Somada also very happy, and everybody was happy. And then why I'm saying is, this is very, very powerful place, O Rama and O Lakshmana. And this is a very, very beautiful story, powerful story I'm sharing with you. Somadacha susamhrushta putrasya sadrushim kriyam yadha nyayam cha gandharvi snushastaha pratyanandatam sprushya cha taha kanyaha kushanabham prashasya cha. Somada was very, very happy seeing all the 100 daughter-in-laws and keep on really touching them, blessing them, and then praising their father Kushanabhudu, and very, very happy. And they all went with their husband and then lived happy life. And slowly this Kushanabha, all the 100 daughters went away. He became lonely. That time he wanted a son. Then he did the tapas. That Kushanabha father, Kushudu, that is a Brahmaji's son. Kushudu blessed Kushanabha that you will get a very good son. Saying that, he left to Swargalokam. I know a lot of stories, but they are all, so much meaning is there. That son is nothing but Gadhi. That Gadhi is my father. That's what Vishwamitra Maharshi is saying. Later on, we will see Vishwamitra's son story elaborately in Balakandam itself. But right now, he just gave the introduction. His father is Gadhi. And then that is why people call me Kaushikudu, because Kusha's grandson, that dynasty. That is why Vishwamitra's name is also Kaushikudu. So that is why he got the name. That's why you might be seeing Kaushika. That's why we shared with the story with you. And then all of them were happy. And then he got a son, that is Gadhi. And that is why he did the tapassu. Krutodvahe gate tasmin brahma datte cha raghava aputra putra labhaya pautri mishtimakalpayat. He did the tapassu and he got the son Gadhi. Gadhi is nothing but my father. And slowly they are traveling, and then they went to Shonabhadra. They crossed Shonabhadra Nadi, and then they went to Ganga Tiram. Again, they stayed at night, and then at that ashramam. And now, again in the morning, Vishwamitra is saying, Suprabhata Nisharama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishtottishta Bhadramte Gamanaya Bhirochaya. Now, morning sun, get up. Now you have to perform morning Sandhya Vandanam, and we will also have to leave to Midhilapuram. And that time, they stopped at the Ganga Tiram. Then Ramachandra want to know how the Kartikeya Jananam took place. They wanted to know about Gangaji. Then that time, Vishwamitra shares another story, lot of stories. That's why I'm giving you some shlokas. That way, you know, shlokas, beautiful shlokas and stories. That's how Srimad Ramayanam and Srimad Bhagavatam goes. All the stories have inner meanings. That's what we are seeing, the inner meaning, that is called Tattvam. Slowly, they purify our mind and heart, gives us the liberation. So now, Kartikeya Jananam, that's what we are going to see. Gangaji's introduction. Later on, how Ganga Mata came, that story will come later. What happened is, one time, see this Ganga Mata, see what happened is Himavat Parvata Raja is a mountain. He married to Meru Parvata's daughter, that is Manorama. Himavan married to Manorama, and then he had two daughters. One is Ganga and one is Uma. Ganga is also called Tripadha. Tripadha is Suranadi river. Started from Svargaloka and came to Bhuloka and went to Patala Loka. That is why it is called Tripadha. Traveled in 3 ways and became like a 7 payas, that we will see later, but traveled in 3 paths. That is why it is called Tripadha. It is a Sura Nadi. And then all the devatas wanted to marry her, but nobody could get her. And then another daughter is Uma. The Uma married to Rudra. Rudra means nothing but Shiva Bhagavan. And both of them doing the tapas. And that time, they needed a son. Son means in so many yugas, so many kalpas, so many manvantaras have happened. One time, Shiva Bhagavan was the Deva Senani. Deva Senani means commander and chief of all the devatas, whoever is instructing and guiding. Now Shiva and Parvati are doing the tapas Uma. Though they do not have Deva Senani. All the devatas, rishis and munis, they went to Brahmaji requesting, saying that we need Deva Senani, commander and chief. That's why Kartikeya Jananam is going to take place. That is why we are taking up this story. Then Brahmaji said, okay, we need to have a plan. Then he called Agni Devata. He said, oh Agni Devata, a long time ago, Shiva Bhagavan kept his Tejasu at you. He storing place. Like for example, computer has a hard drive. We store that all the good things, all the things, hardware we call storage place. In the same way, cell phone has a storage place. Even in our house, we have the storage place. We call them closets. Of course, we cannot open them. Once we open, they all fall on us. Same way, Devatas also have the plan for future purposes. And then Shiva Bhagavan kept his tejas in Agni Bhagavan, stored there. Brahmaji remembered that. Brahmaji said, oh Agni Deva, now time has come. You need to bring out this Shiva tejas out. Because Kartikeya Jananam has to take place. And then this Shiva tejas, you need to give it to Ganga. She will take the tejas and will have a boy. That's what is going to happen. Now Shiva Tejasu transformed to Agni. That Shiva Tejasu transformed to Ganga. But Ganga could not hold on to that Shiva Tejasu because it is filled with energy. Lot of energy, radiating lot of energy. She said, I am not able to hold this. Then she kept it on a mountain. Near the Himalayan mountain, in another small mountain. When the Tejasu, Shiva Tejasu comes, we see it in same thing in Hanumanji birth also. Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandana Teja Pratapa, like that we say. Shankara Bhagavan's Tejas, Vayu Bhagavan brings it to Anjana Devi. That she is a very, very powerful lady, Punjika Sthala Apsarasa, great tapasvi, and keeps it in Anjana Devi. That Anjana Devi married to Kesari. That is why Kesari Nandana, Anjani Putra, Shankara Suvana, Vayu Nandana. That is why Hanumanji got so many names. Direct parents are Anjana and Kesari. But actual Tejasu, Shiva Tejasu, and brought up by Vayu Bhagavan. Exactly same thing here also. That is why Kartikeya has so many names. We are going to see all the names, some of them, okay, not all of them. Now that Ganga kept that energy in the mountain, that whole mountain became very powerful and tejasu, like Bangaram, golden shine. All the Bangaram came, Vendi came out, and all the Sharavanam means Rellu Gaddi, the kind of grass, it is called Sharavanam. And copper and iron all emerged from that energy. Finally, one boy also appeared. That is why that is a boy, baby boy also appeared. That is nothing but Shadanana Kartikeya. That is why we called Sharavana Bhava. Sharavana means Rellu Gaddi, the wild grass. But here it is very, very purified grass. Sharavana Bhava, that's what we call Kumara Swami. And now we will see how we got the Kartikeya name. Now the baby boy appeared. What to do? Devatas had a plan. They instructed 6 Krutikas, divine angels. Then they were guarding and feeding this baby boy. That is why Krutikas were serving him That is why he became Kartikeya. Krutikas are serving, he became Kartikeya. He was born from Sharavana, then that wild grass, energized grass, he became Sharavana Bhava. 6 Krutikas are there. The baby boy became Shadanana. He gave the opportunities to feed all Krutikas. Then he had 6 faces, 6 mouths. At the same time, they were all feeding him. Then Kartikeya became Shadanana. See, all this has a intricacy and very purpose, and lot of inner meaning is there also. Nothing is accident. Everything is a divine plan. Even in our life also, there is a plan. Universe has a plan for us. Nothing is an accident. Even listening to Srimad Ramayanam, Navaham, 9 days is also divine plan. So right after Hanumat Jananam, and then Rama Kalyanam, Sri Rama Navami, after Sri Rama Navami. Divine plan. And then Agni also kept the Tejas. That is why Agni Sambhavaha, Kartikeya's name. So now this is what happened. This Ganga story, shortly Brahmaji told him. This is why it is a Siddhashramam, and a lot of people also did tapas. This is Kartikeya Jananam. Vishwamitra told to Sri Rama and Lakshmana Swami, and saying that they slowly they started moving again to go to Mithila Nagaram. Actual purpose, Sita Rama Kalyanam, and with that Vetrivel Murugan, yes, Murugan, yes. And then that is somebody put the text, and now the whole thing became that gold, right? So beautiful shlokas are there. I will share some shlokas. Jata rupamiti khyatam tada prabhuti raghava suvarnam purusha vyaghra hutashana samaprabham trunavrukshalata gulmam sarvam bhavati kanchanam. And everything became like a golden color. Jata rupam. O Rama, Purusha Sreshta, tam kumaram tato jatam sendra saha marudganaha kshira sambhavanardhaya krutikaha samayojayan taha kshiram jata matrasya krutva samayamuttamam daduhu putroyam asmakam sarva samiti nishchitaha. And then they gave the milk to this boy. That is why he got the name Shadanana. And then Kartikeya, Shadanana, Agni Sambhavaha. Now we have to see Skandha. Skandha means, Skandudu means fallen. Jari Padatam. The Tejas has fallen. Shiva's Tejas has fallen. Agni, that is why we call Shiva's son. Then that is why Skandhudu, his name is Skanda. So that is why we say Skanda Shashti. Shashti Tidhi is very good for favorite Tidhi for Subramanyam, Kartikeya. Like this happened, O Ramachandra Bhagavan. The shlokas are lot of shlokas there, but I just selected some of them and chanted. How beautiful this story is. Shlokas are Sharavana Bhava also. Okay. So this is what Kartikeya Jananam. And listening to this Kartikeya Jananam, Phalasruti is given by Vishwamitra Maharshi. Let us see the Phalasruti. Bhaktaschaya Kartikeye Kakutsabhuvimanavaha Ayushman Putra Pautraischa Skanda Salokyatam Vrajet. Whoever listens to this in Bhulokam with out of devotion and with humility and with Shraddha of this Kumara Swami Jananam, all this story, they will become Dirghayushman and then become very, very healthy, Ayushu and Arogyam and Putra Pautram. All of them will get in Bhulokam right while living, and they will get all the Saukhyam, all the auspiciousness, goodness, and happiness. And after Maranam, death, they will go to Skanduni Lokam. Skandasa Lokyatam Vrajet. They will attain Skandalokam. That's where Skandalokam means belong to Subramanyeswara Swami, Kumara Swami. That's what Kumara Swami Jananam Vishwamitra Maharshi told to Rama and Lakshmana. We also took up this story elaborately. So now we need to take the blessings of Skanda Bhagavan Kartikeya. Om Sri Matre Namaha. And now Gangavataranam. How Ganga appeared on this earth. This is a very, very elaborate story from 38th Sarga to 44th Sarga. But in between this one, I will tell you a story. Some shlokas we will see in between. And Ikshvaku Vamsham also, again, this is all happened in Ikshvaku Vamsham, that is the dynasty of Sri Ramachandra. In Ikshvaku Vamsham, there is a king called Sagara. Sagara means he was born out of poison. Garam means poison. Sagara means with poison. And so that's how he was born. That is a different story that we are not touching. We will start with Sagara. That is what we need right now. Sagara is a king. He has wives. Two of them are main. One is Keshini, another one is Sumati. Kesini and Sumati. Keshini and Sumati, Sagara did a lot of tapas. And Bhrigu Maharshi blessed them and told them, one of them will have one son, one of them will have 60,000 sons. 60,000. And then out of Bhrigu Maharshi's blessings, Keshini had one son. Sumati has 60,000 sons. That also we will see up all this. And then all this is happening. This Sagara decided to perform Ashwamedha Yagam. See, we see in Puranas, people are performing Ashwamedha Yagam. We need to know one take-home point. We need to understand here. What the principle behind is, whoever performs 100 Ashwamedha Yagas, they have the capacity and capability of become Indra. Indra is not a name. Indra is a position in Svargaloka. Like for now, Bhulokam, we have Chief Minister, CM, PM, Prime Minister, MLA, or Governor, President, we call this. They are all very, very powerful position in Bhulokam. That is why people fight for their position, fight for money, fight for fame and name and fame, fight for Nobel Prize. In spite of all that, they want Nobel Prize also. We see this in Bhulokam. Right now also we are seeing. So much commotion, fighting, arguing happens for their name, fame, money, position in earthly field, in Bhulokam. Our Swamiji used to say there is no difference here and hereafter, Swargalokam also. Don't go for Swargaloka, go for liberation while living. Our Swamiji Bodhatmananji always used to say, they are all different worlds, Bhoga Bhumis, that's all. Kshine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. You enjoy all the bhogas. When all the bhogas are done, you come back to earthly field again and fight for all these name, fame, power, position, money, health, wealth, all that same routine. That circle, Janana Marana circle. So the reason is now Sagara is trying to do Ashwamedha Yagam. That time, that Indra, whoever is staying in that position, that power, position name is Indra. Now we say CM, PM like that in Swargaloka. Then that Indra gets afraid, whoever it is that time. Then he tries to steal that Ashwamedha Yagam. That is why called Ashwamedha Yagam. Ashwa means horse. What they do is they tie up, they perform the puja to one horse, select a beautiful Sreshtamaina Ashwam, and then lives on the Bhulokam, goes everywhere. Whoever holds, tie-ups that Ashwamedha Yagam, then they have to do the fight with them and then bring back this Ashwam. Then they, that the obstacle. So this is the story behind. So each time, whenever 93 comes, Ashwamedha Yagas comes, they have to do 100 of them, Ashwamedha Yagam. And then Indra intercepts, like for example, how the football match, the interception takes place, hey, everybody cheers. I have to bring up some funny points too. Otherwise, you might fall asleep listening to all these stories. Or you might have Ashraddha, because we all know the story, we know Ramayanam. So that is why what happens in football, people listen, watching enthusiastically. Then that quarterback throws the ball and the interception takes place from different team, opposition team. Then everybody cheering the team, did the very well. So that's what happened here. Now this Indra intercepts and took the horse and tied up in the Patala Lokam, where the Kapila Maharshi is doing the tapassu. This horse did not come back. Sagara was worried. At that time, seeing the worry on his father's place, the Sagara Putras, 60 of them, they decided to help their father Sagara. And then all 60 of them started digging the earth and then going down. They could not locate the Ashwamedha Yagam, that Ashwam, horse. That is how Sagaram took place. Each time they did, lot of empty space is to happen. Means a lot of holes, big holes, because they keep on going down. That's why Sagaram, Sagaraputras did the earth. Sagaram emerged, ocean. Sagaram we call. And then that is why finally they went to Patala Lokam. There they see the Ashwam tied up to a tree. There Kapila Maharshi is doing the tapas, intense tapas. He closed his eyes and he was in samadhi. He did not even know what happened. He did not see Indra or Ashwam, nothing. He was very innocent and he was in samadhi. But what happened? All these 60,000 Sagaraputras are doing the commotion, saying, ha, 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 you are the one who captured our Ashwam horse. Listening to all the 60,000 screams at one time loudly. Kapila Maharshi opened his eyes, came out from his tapassu. But Kapila Maharshi did not do anything actually. Just opened his eyes and said, hum, like that. Means shut up, that's all. With that hunkaram and opening of his eyes, all the 60,000 Sagaraputras turned into ashes. Budida. All turned into ashes. So Kapila Maharshi did not do anything actually. And this is the story now. These Sagaraputras are done, and this Ashwamedha Yagam of Sagara king could not take place. It just stopped in 3/4 way. But Sagara had the desire to perform this Ashwamedha Yagam. Then what happened is that Keshini, that one son, she had only one son. His name is Asamanjasa. That one son, Asamanjasa, seeing his father grief, he said, I am going to go to find this Ashwa horse. Oh father, you can finish this Ashwamedha Yagam. And then he started going in the direction where his brothers went, all 60,000 of them. They made the path. And he is following the path. He ended up in Kapilashramam. There he saw the horse, that Ashwam, tied up to a tree. Then Kapila Maharshi told him, this Asamanjasa, because he came alone, he was very quiet and pious. He did not do any commotion. Kapila Maharshi blessed him, saying whatever happened, he told him, now you take this horse. I do not need this horse. With his tapas shakti, he saw whatever happened. Indra tied it here. I did not even know. I do not want this horse. I do not want any, I don't belong, that horse does not belong to me. You take a horse this peacefully. And he gave that horse and took, this Asamanjasa took this Sagara, the horse to the Sagara, and Sagara Chakravarti performed the Aswamedha Yagam. Slowly he passed away. He went to Svargalokam. Doing the Ashwamedha Yagam, he got the Svargalokam. And now this Asamanjasa was thinking, all my 60,000 brothers, they need to attain Svargalokam also. Then what should I do? Then these 60,000 sons, uncle is Garutmantudu. Garutmantudu is nothing but Vishnu Bhagavan's vehicle, Vahana. And Garutmanta guided him, saying that you need to bring Gangaji to the earth with Pavitramaina Ganga Jalam. With that, they get purified with that Ganga Jalam. All 60,000 of them. That is the only way they will attain Svargaloka. Asamanjasa said, I do not have time to do tapas. And then he told his son Amshumantudu. Then Amshumantudu took up that project, bringing the Ganga to Earth, Bhulokam. Amshumantudu did the tapas, but the time was not enough. Then Amshumantudu guided his son Dilipudu. Dilipa Chakravarti Maharaj also could not fulfill the tapasu, a long time tapas, could not fulfill the desire. That Ganga Avataranam could not happen. The tapas was not sufficient. And finally, Bhagiratha. did the tapas started at young age, gave the kingdom to his sons, and started the tapas at young age. Bhagiratha did lot of tapas, and then Brahmaji appeared and said, yes, you will can bring that Ganga from Swargaloka to Bhuloka. But there is a condition. This is a long story, Gangavataranam, but very, very purification story. And very, very important also. We need to know how the Ganga Mata came to earth from Swargaloka to here. That is why people will say Bhagiratha Prayatnam. Whenever they put long effort, long skills, wait for long time, Bhagiratha comes into colloquial language. It is like a sameta. People talk about Bhagiratha Prayatnam. But that force is very strong. You need Shiva Bhagavan to hold that force. Then Bhagiratha had to do tapas to Ganga Mata agreed. Ganga Mata appeared in front of him. He said, I will come, but my force is very strong. You have to ask Shiva Bhagavan to just withheld that force on his Jata Jutam. First step to come to Ganga, coming from higher field, mountains, higher fields. Then Bhagiratha did the tapas to Shiva Bhagavan. Shiva Bhagavan was very pleased and appeared on him. Then what happened is, I will hold that Ganga's force on my Jata Jutam, let Ganga ji come. But then Ganga ji became very proud. He said, I want to come with the highest force. Then then Shiva Bhagavan will not withhold my force. Shiva Bhagavan realized Gangaji's garvam, proudness of, see the proudness, he just held that Ganga in his Jata Jutam, will not release. Then Bhagiratha says, what happened? Gangaji is not coming, waiting. Then he had to do tapas again. Out of compassion, Shivaji said, okay, I'm going to leave one stream on at Bindu Sarovara Prantam, very pious and place. That's what I'm going to leave, like a one flow. One means not the whole Gangaji. Whole Gangaji water is very, very powerful. Bhulokam is not going to withheld. So I'm going to leave a little bit force, little bit. That water we see how much it is. Ganga Mata. And then that Gangaji became like a 7 streams. That is why all the 7 streams have a names. Beautiful shlokas are here. Now I'm going to read this shlokas here. Yadi me bhagavan prito yajyasti tapasah phalam sagarasyatmaja sarve matta salilamapnuyahu Gangayaha salilaklinne bhasmanyesham mahatmanam swargam gaccheyuratyantam sarve me prapitamahaha deya cha santatirteva navasidet kulam chanaha ikshvakunam kule deva yesha mestu paraham. Okay. Then what happened is Bhagiratha, that one stream was following to Bhagiratha, that is Gangaji, and went to Patalalokam and purified all these 16,000 souls. With Pavitramaina Ganga Janamto, they all became purified. They attained Swargalokam, all these 60,000. So this is what story. And meanwhile, some incidents took place, that also we will see. Only one stream followed this Bhagiratha. That is why Ganga Mata got the name Bhagirathi. Bhagiratha's daughter, Bhagirathi. And now some of them, 7 streams, some of them, 3 of them went to east direction. That is why it's good to know all these names. Hadini, Pavani, Nalini. Those are all rivers, Ganga Mata's rivers, Turpu side, east side. West side, Sindhu Nadi. Now we hear these words. Sindhu Nadi, Sita, Suchakshuvu. Suchakshuvu. Now some of them we lost it. They are all Punya Nadis, divine ladies. They become rivers, Devatas. And then that 7th one is Ganga ji, Bhagirathi we call. And then while going, what happened is, then this Ganga Mata became very, very ferocious, the water. Then it touched Jahnu Maharshi's ashramam and swallowed all ashramam got filled with water. Then Jahnu Maharshi stopped that water in his Kamandalu and slowly anyway releases that Ganga water. Then it became Jahnavi. See, Ganga Mata got so many names. We do not even know. That's why we need to know all these. Our Devatas, how they appeared, how this took place, all the Nadis, how they are all Devatas. Nadis are really protecting us. Devatas are protecting us, nourishing us. Water only we sustain. That's why water fight, right? So much we see in Bhulokam. And then Jahnavi, the Ganga Mata became Jahnavi. We have a Satsangi name, Jahnavi, here in our group. So that is why all that everybody was happy. All of everybody, all these names also took place. Now we see how the Ganga Avataranam, how the Sagaraputras became purified. All 60 of them, they attained Swargalokam. All the now Sagara, and then Amshumantudu, and then Dilipudu, Bhagirathudu. That's how Ganga Avataranam took place. Yam Haimavati Ganga, Jeshta Himavata Sutta, Tam Vaidharayitum Shakto, Harastatra Niyujyatam. This she is nothing but Haimavati, Himavat Parvata's mountain. That is Ganga. And then Shiva is the only one can withhold her force. That is why Shiva's wife is Ganga. That is why we say, because he kept Ganga Mata in his Jatajutam. And now Ganga Avataranam is the very greatest story. Phalitam, results of listening to this story. That Phalitam Vishwamitra Maharshi is saying, Dhanyam Yashasya Mayushyam Putram Putrem Swargyam Mati Vacha Yasravayati Vipreshu Kshetriyeshvita Pitareshu Cha Priyante Pitarastasya Priyante Daivatani Cha. They will have all the wealth, yashas, name, fame, whatever they desire, and then their Pitru Devata will be happy because like Sagaraputras, their Pitru Devatas will be happy, Devatas will be happy, and then whoever says the story, listens to the story, whoever reads the story, everybody will get purified. And they will attain all these desires. Idamakhyanam avyagro Gangavataranam shubham yashrunoti chakakutsa sarvan kaman avapnuyat sarve papaha pranashyanti ayuh kirtischa vardhate. All the papas get destroyed and then they will attain punyam and then they will attain name, fame and ayushu and health. That's why it is very important to sing Ganga, listen to Ganga Avataranam, Katha, story. how the Ganga Mata appeared to Bhuloka. Ganga Mata ki Jai. We are all sustaining because of that Ganga Mata. That is why we have this Ganga Arati song also. That is why they do Ganga Harati every day in Haridwar, and then Hrishikesh, all Punyakshetra and Varanasi, all of them. Majority of Punyakshetras, they do Ganga Harati every day. Even seeing that Ganga Harati is very, very purification, gives us punyam. So Ganga Mata ki Jai. And saying that again, lot of another story, they went to, on the way, they were stopping at the ashramas at night time, and Vishwamitra ji is telling all the stories to Ramachandra and Lakshmana Bhagavan, depends on the ashramas significance. And now Kshira Sagara Madhanam. What happened is, one time Devatas and Daityas, see, sometimes Devatas are very powerful, sometimes Daityas are very powerful. Devatas and Daityas. So this is what is happening, because so many kalpas are happening, so many manvantaras. Don't think just this 50 years, whatever we live, that's all the time. We get so worried. Actually, there is no worry at all, because this is Ananta Kalam. So many things have happened. We are all born so many times according to our Shastras. So many parents we have, so many relations, so many children. Why worry? We think this is the end of it. So that's why we get stressed out. All these instructions, these stories are for our guidance, instructions. Not to worry, not to cling on to stuff, not to cling on to anything. Not to say likes, dislikes, whoever is coming, whoever is not coming, whoever is attending, whoever is doing what. Our life is very short, like a droplet of water. That's what our life is in this Ananta Kalam. That is why Kali Yuga itself is 4,32,000 years. We are in Kali Yuga. What to talk about other worlds, other lokas, other yugas. And Dwapara Yugam is 8,64,000. 8,64,000 years. And Treta Yugam, that is where Sri Rama Bhagavan is. That is 8,96,000 years. Thousands of years. Even we cannot count 1,00,000 without taking a breath. Maybe at the time we can count up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe. See how short is our life. Do not have any attachments. Hold on to Ramachandra Bhagavan or Ganga Mata or Rishi Munis and Muniganas, Devatas or Rishis. Ananta Kalam, so many things have happened, so many things will happen. But Ramayana is going to be there. That is what Bhagavan's promise. All we need to do is Ramayana. We need to listen to Ramayanam and we need to spread this Rama Katha. That's all we can do. That's all our job is. We cannot, like our Swami Chinmayananda always says, we cannot stop any wars, we cannot fight with anybody. We are not capable. Only Bhagavan has to intervene. That is his plan. You just do the good things. All the good is going to happen. You are at the right place and the right time, you will be there. Everything will be taken care of. In spite of all the bad things, in spite of all ill things, in spite of all anger, world will goes on. Your job is not to purify the world. You need to do your job. I am also included. Job is to purify yourself. Listening to Ramakatha. That's all you can do. Our Swami Chinmayananda is to instruct all of us, including our direct Acharya Swami Bodhatmananda in our course. 2 years ashramam. World will go on. That is not our job. Now, Kshirasagara Madhanam. That is why positive and negative will go on. Sometimes positive will be in rise, sometimes negative is in rise, in Ananta Kalam. And then they wanted to bring out the Amrutam. That's why they were started to churn the Milky Ocean. Mandhara mountain became like a churning rod. Vasuki, the serpent, became the churning rope. And they started churning the Milky Ocean for Amrutam. And then what happened is that Mandhara mountain started going down. That time they all prayed to Vishnu Bhagavan. See, whenever we difficulties, what do? We do not ask another instruction. We have to pray to Bhagavan. All the grahas are under his control. All the people are on his control. Everything is under his control. Bhagavan control. That's why they all prayed to Vishnu Bhagavan. They knew that nobody can help them except Vishnu Bhagavan. And Vishnu Bhagavan came like a Kurmavataram and stayed on that. Then the Mandhara Parvatam stayed on that Kurmavataram. Then they started churning that Milky Ocean. And it seems our Swamiji says funnily, because I have to bring up some funny points too, that Kurmavataram, Vishnu Bhagavan is feeling like getting a massage while they are churning. So then that's what happened. Slowly, all the things were coming up. First came is halahalam, poison. Nobody wanted the poison. Again what? Shiva Bhagavan. And then Shiva Bhagavan took the halahalam. Even Parvati Mata gave the permission. Mingeduvadu vibundaniyu, mingedidiyu garalamaniyu, mingumaniya sarvamangala, melani prajakun. Sarvamangala said, just swallow it. Don't worry. You are doing for the people's sake, all the praja's sake, for the world's sake. So that's why Shiva Bhagavan swallowed it. He kept it at his throat. That's why he became Neelakantha. Even Shivananda Lahari, we have seen 32nd shloka. Jvalogra, that shloka. Did you think, he thought about it is a fruit? What did you think? Shiva, Shankaracharya writes in Shivananda Lahari. Did you think it is a berry fruit? Or you thought about that is like a Neelamani, sapphire? So you can put it like a Abharanam or at your throat? Or you thought it is like a Voshadhi or medicine? What did you think? Everybody ran away. That Jwala, how did you swallow it? Oh Shiva, Shivananda Lahari Shlokam. And then that's why Shiva, like instruction for us, tip for us. Whenever we sit for meditation, what happens? First negativity come. That is the poison. Whatever dead past we will remember. Slowly, when we sit for a long time, sit every day, slowly, the mind gets purified, and then slowly, all these good stories will come. That is what happened. First came halahalam. And then so many apsarasas, Uchchaishravasam, horse, Kamadhenu, Kalpataru, Chandrudu, Lakshmi Mata, Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi married to Vishnu Bhagavan. And then Kaustubhamani, that Kaustubhamani, Vishnu Bhagavan took it. And then Dhanvantari, finally Amrutam came. Dhanvantari Bhagavan, that he brought the Amrutam, and then Mohini Avataram also appeared, and then Deva Danavas fight, and then finally Devatas got the Amrutam, and then Daityas perished. Slowly Devatas were ruling, they were in the highest position. So this is what happened. Kshirasagara Madhanam, O Sri Ramachandra, Lakshmana, this way these are ashramas are, this is what happened. These places, slowly, Devatas and Daityas now happening. On the way to Mithila, Janakapuri, Vishwamitra Maharshi is telling the stories. And on the way again, they saw another ashramam that is nothing but Gautama Maharshi and Ahalya's ashramam. And then Vishwamitra Maharshi says, we will enter into this Gautama Maharshi's ashramam. Because Ahalya Mata had a curse by her own husband, Gautama Maharshi. Because she had a one ill thought. So those days, I already mentioned before, everybody was very pious. With small mistake, they used to get a curse. Actually, this is not a curse. This is a blessing for Ahalya Mata. What Gautama Maharshi said, you just stay in this ashramam, nobody is going to see you. In directly, I did not hear it, mentioned like a stone. In no shlokas, I did not see, even Bhashakaras are mentioned, but somehow it is very popular. Maybe because nobody could see, the devotees, Bhashakaras have interpreted that way. That can happen. Devotees tend to do that. That is okay. So you stay here and do Rama Nama Japam, but nobody knows that you are staying here. Rama is going to come here. When you see Rama Bhagavan, you will become Ahalya again. You will become purified, and then everybody will get to see you. That time I will come back and accept you as my wife. Like that, Bhagavan Gautama Rishi told Ahalya. That's why it is not a curse. She did Ramanama Japam, but nobody knows she is there. And that's why Vishwamitra Maharshi knew that and told Rama Bhagavan that let us enter into this ashramam. As soon as Rama Bhagavan entered into that ashramam, then what happened is beautiful. Ahalya Mata appeared. Tada gaccha mahateja ashramam punyakarmanaha tarayainam mahabhagam ahalyam devarupinim. Beautiful Kanti Swarupam. Ahalya Mata appeared in front of them. Because of that tapasu, she became Kanti and Tejasu. All that japam she did, Ramanama japam. Vishwamitra vachasrutva Ragavasaha Lakshmanaha Vishwamitram puraskrutva Tamashramat madha vishatum Dadarsh cha mahabhagam tapasa jyotita prabham lokairapi samagamya durniriksham surasuraihi prayatna nirmitam dhatra divya maya mayimivam. Even nobody could see her. That's how her, including devatas or asuras. That's how the Kanti is Jyoti. Durniriksham. Nobody could see. Sura or asura. Devatas or asuras. That's what happened. Satushara avrutam saubhram purna chandra prabhamiva madhyem bhaso duradharsham deeptam suryas prabhamiva. She is like a Surya Prabha Kanti, Deeptam, Duradharsham, impossible to see. And then that's what happened after Rama Darshanam. Sahi Gautama Vakye Yena Durniriksha Babhuvaha Trayanam Lokanam Yavad Ramasya Darshanam. Ramasya Darshanam. After Rama Darshanam, everybody could see her. Even though she is very, very powerful, that purified Ahalya Mata, everybody could see, and all the Devatas started pouring the flower, Pushpa Varsham. Rishis, Devatas, everybody was very, very happy. And Gautama Maharshi also came that time. And then this Gautama Maharshi's Ahalya's son is Shatananda. That is nothing but Janaka Maharaja's like a Purohitudu, Guruvu, and mentor. Like Ramachandra Bhagavan Vasishta Maharshi is Shatananda Maharshi. They are going to meet Shatananda there in Midhila. So Gautama Maharshi's and Ahalya's son. Then Shatananda, when they meet, Shatananda asks, "Oh, Vishwamitra Maharshi, Sri Rama and Sri Lakshmana, have they seen my parents' ashramam, Gautama and Ahalya's ashramam? Did they see?" All that he asks. So that's what happened. So this is a very, very beautiful and pious story. Devatas were very happy. And then this Ahalya Mata and Gautama Maharshi, very, very famous story also. With Rama Darshana Karanam, she became very, very pious. And now, what happened is, slowly they crossed all the ashramas and nadis, Ganga Nadi, Shona Nadi, Shonabhadra Nadi, Sarayu Nadi, and all of them went to Midhila Nagaram. Midhila Nagaram, then Janaka Maharshi received them with utmost devotion and utmost humility and did puja to Vishwamitra Maharshi. And then asked, "Who are these more beautiful looking, handsome boys? I would like to know." And then Vishwamitra Maharshi says, "They are very powerful and strong boys. They are nothing but they are Dasharatha's son, who rules Ayodhya." That Dasharatha Maharaja's son, Rama and Lakshmana. And then that is what he just says the introduction, and then they want to see the Dhanasu, Shiva Dhanasu they wanted to see. And then Janaka Maharaju said, "No problem, you take rest. I'm going to show you that Shiva Dhanasu. Right now, you just talk with Shatananda, you all rest. You came from long way, and I made all the arrangements." That's what this Janaka Maharaju says. And then Vishwamitra Maharshi, Rama and Lakshmana talks to Shatananda, who is the son of Gautama Maharshi and Ahalya Mata. And here Shatananda gives elaborate story of Vishwamitra Maharshi, almost like a 51 sarga to 65 sarga, like that many sargas, almost like 15 sargas. Vishwamitra story. I will tell you in a story form. This we are going to conclude with that. So now Sita Mata's Agnya is marriage will take place tomorrow morning. We'll start with auspicious Mangalakara Ghattam. We'll start with Kalyanam, Sita Rama Kalyanam. That's what preparations and all that we will see tomorrow morning. But now I'm going to conclude with Vishwamitra's story, what happened, and all this Shatananda is telling. Very, very interesting. This is again seekers like us very helpful and instructions and tips how we go up and down in our sadhana. Vishwamitra Maharshi's story is very much applicable in our life. Vishwamitra Maharshi became like a Maharshi. He's a great king. He has a kingdom to rule and he ruled very well. He has a great army, lot of wealth, lot of things, name, fame, all that. He's a Raju, he's a king. Then one time he went to Vasishta Maharshi's ashram. Then Vasishta Maharshi received Vishwamitra, the king, because he is the ruling king, and he said, stay here and I will give you, feed all of them and rest and relax. Then Vishwamitra, the king, asked Vasishta, you are living in an ashramam, you do not have any facilities, do you know how many people I have? I have so much, and they are all bhoga people. They love to enjoy. How can you feed? You do not have the comforts, you do not have room, you do not have the food material, you do not have anything. How are you going to do it? Vasishta Maharshi says, do not worry, I will make all the arrangements. O king, you came to my ashram, my job is to feed you all, give the comfort. And saying that, he called Kamadhenu, that cow is with him. And that cow, Vasishta Maharshi is treating like her own daughter, Surabhi. And Surabhi is to also feel Vasishta Maharshi is her father. That is how their relationship is. Kamadhenu means whatever you desire will appear just like that. And that's why he instructed Kamadhenu just to take care of them. And then instantaneously everything appeared there. Whatever everybody wants, all these thousands of soldiers and his sons, hundreds of his sons. And then Vishwamitra was very much puzzled. Then he got very, very jealousy on Vasishta. He said, you live in ashramam, you should not have this cow. I am the king, I have to take care of so many people. The cow belongs to me. I have to take this cow. Give me this cow. Vasishta Maharshi said, I cannot give this cow. If you want to take it, ask that cow, Kamadhenu, Shabala, and take it. Seeing that Vasishta Maharshi, her father does not want to give him back to Vishwamitra, and Surabhi said, Vasishta Maharshi gave her orders, do whatever you want to protect yourself. I am not doing anything. Then that Surabhi, that Shabala became hundreds of cows. She became manyfold and fought with this army and this king, Vishwamitra. Then out of fear, so many people have died, including his own sons, 100 of them, and went back to his kingdom. He said, this Kshatriya Balam is not very, very insignificant compared to Brahma Balam. Dhik Kshatriya Balam. Chi, Kshatriya Balam is not worth it compared to that Brahma Balam. And then he became a Rajarshi. He went into Tapassu. That Raja became into Tapassu. And then again he went to then went to Tapassu, but what happened is Indra sent Apsarasa. That is nothing but Rambha. He became very desirous of the Rambha, Korika, the inner enemy. And then he went back with, stopped the tapas, Rambha, and went back with Rambha. See, this is what happens, right? In our meditation and our satsang, that only time phone rings. That on time somebody comes. That on time, all these, like Vishwamitra story, our story. Then desires. That's why, that's it. He started the tapas out of desire. Then again he started the tapas. Then Indra sent the Urvashi. First is Urvashi actually. First is Urvashi. He goes back to with Urvashi. And then anyway, whatever it is, Rambha. And then what happens is he gets mad at Rambha, Krodham. All the tapas get destroyed. The Kama, Krodha, out of those two weaknesses, tapas is gone. Rajarshi only. And then he decided to become Maharshi. He said, no matter what, I'm not going to get up. I have to do this. Maharshi. But that tapas is not enough. To prove, he goes back to Vasishta Maharshi and says, the goal is Vasishta Maharshi has to say that Vishwamitra Maharshi is Brahmarshi. But Vasishta Maharshi knows that he is not ready yet. He would not say that word, Brahmarshi. He is still a Maharshi. Again, he is challenging Vasishta Maharshi. Vasishta Maharshi stays with his Brahmadandam, one stick, Brahmadandam, just closes his eyes. Then the whole army comes out and fights with Vishwamitra. He still has a lingering all these emotions, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam, no matter how much tapas he is doing. In the same way, no matter how many satsangas we attend, we still have this hold on to these lingering ones. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Raga, Dvesha, Asuya, and then all this Raga, Dvesham, all of them, attachments, aversions, we still have like lingering. Slowly they are going away, but still at that moment they pop up. So that is what happened to Vishwamitra Maharshi. Finally he decided he has to become like a Brahmarshi. All these the sargas and so many shlokas, he become like a Brahmarshi. So then slowly listening from all this story from Shatananda and Rama Lakshmana did the prostrations, namaskaram to Vishwamitra Maharshi. And then this sarga also, we will conclude with this concluding shloka. Vishwamitro mipi dharmatma saha Rama sa Lakshmanaha swavatam abhichakrama pujyamano maharshibihi. And then they did the prostrations, and then Vishwamitra went to his own kutia, and then Rama Lakshmana went his own place, which Janaka Maharaju arranged. That place they went back, did the namaskaram and pradakshina to Shatananda and Vishwamitra Maharshi, Brahmarshi. So this is what elaborate Vishwamitra Maharshi story. We finished a lot of sargas with that, and tomorrow we will enter in getting ready for Janaka Maharaju's daughter's wedding, Sita Mata's wedding. All the preparations, Shivadhanur Bangam, all that is going to happen tomorrow. With that, Sita Mata's blessing, I am going to conclude this lecture series, Rama 9 days Sri Rama Katha Yajnam. Just for today, I am going to conclude. Om Sri Matre Namaha. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om. Thank you, Shamalaji.
Thank you, Shamala.
Thank you, Shamala. Yeah. Chala bagundi. Thank you, ma.